great boon, yes.
Right.
Good. The idea was to we've got these wonderful sets of Bhagavatam, so we want to try to install them in as many houses as we can. So Rena very kindly allowed us to do the first one here, which is very auspicious, here in Stony Batter. We got the idea from, we're reading this book here called Our Family Business, which Vaisheshika compiled and wrote so many wonderful notes on. It's something which they do quite a lot in Silicon Valley in America. And you'll see why. I'm going to read a little bit about his introduction about the Bhagavatam and why it is so important to have these ceremonies. My own experience with the Srimad Bhagavatam goes back to 1982 when I first heard the Bhagavatam in Trinity College, and it was a life-changing experience for me. I was studying at the time philosophy and English, and I was exploring about the nature of the truth, trying to discover what is the truth. And so I was attending different lectures in the college, and then one time I seen a notice which said, just learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. I didn't read the rest of it, I just saw the truth again. Oh, there's another lecture on the truth. So I went along, and then what was to become my spiritual master, Satsuru Maharaj, and he gave this amazing talk. I didn't know what talking about the Bhagavatam, but it was all about Maharaj Parikshit and meeting Sukadeva Goswami, and Sukadeva Goswami explaining to him about the nature of the Bhagavatam, the nature of the soul. And so it became, somehow or other I was absolutely stunned when I was listening to it, because I'd heard a lot of philosophy before that. I'd never been affected in the same way. So basically I went home and then I attended the Sunday program, which we have ourselves 3 days later, and it kind of confirmed all that I had been listening to. So a couple of years later, I became initiated in Belfast in front of Shishivadi Madhava in 1984, and for the whole week Satsuru Maharaj was giving talks on the Bhagavatam, all on the first canto, chapter 2, which is so much is contained in that chapter. It's quite incredible. And we would go out on Sankirtan afterwards, and but again I remember feeling completely energized from hearing the Bhagavatam, and it kind of made an indelible mark in me. I was going to say this, yeah, I can say that. So all these years later now, I'm thinking that this is the most auspicious thing to do, because the Bhagavatam is explaining about the nature of the truth. So I thought that we would start by reading about the glorification of the Bhagavatam. I haven't got the Sanskrit of it, but Amanda Vikram Prabhu, he reads this every time when he's just about to which is an amazing addition to the whole spiritual energy in Dublin, that is Bhagavatam is being read not every day, but almost every day, and that we are going to continue and we're going to repeat it. So it's a very auspicious time. So I'll read it out if you want to repeat. O nectar from the ocean of all scriptures, singular fruit of all the Vedas, rich mine of precious gems, of all conclusive truths. You are the only giver of light to all the worlds. O life air all the Supreme Lord's devotees, O Master Srimad Bhagavatam, you are the sun, risen in the darkness of Kali. You are the exact image of Sri Krishna. I bow down to you, who are supremely blissful. Your every syllable pours down a flood of prema. You can always be served by everyone. You are Sri Krishna himself. My only friend, my constant companion, my spiritual master, my great wealth, my savior, my good fortune, my source of ecstasy. I bow down to you. O bestower of saintliness, to the unsaintly, O exalter of the most fallen, please never leave me. Always appear in my heart, and my voice, with pure love. These are Srila Goswami's profound words of praise for Srimad Bhagavatam, recorded in Sri Krishna Leela Stava 412 to 406, after he heard of those glories from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Is it any wonder then that when a family or household agrees to accept a full set of Srimad Bhagavatam into their home, you can be sure you've made an impact on their life. You perceive it directly, and so do the recipients of the books. Recently we met a man who bought a Srimad Bhagavatam set and placed it in his home. After reading from it in small installments for some time, he stopped eating meat, began chanting Hare Krishna on bees, and started strictly following the process of devotional service. We regularly see transformations like this after people agree to place a set of Bhagavatam in their homes. One of the main reasons is that by agreeing to keep the other books about pure devotional service, people somehow naturally begin to identify themselves as devotees of Krishna. So now this is Vaisheshika again begins to explain about Srimad Bhagavatam presentation. So he's speaking in the first person. Before us tonight is a set of Srimad Bhagavatam volumes, and it took no ordinary journey to arrive here. These books were brought to America and the rest of the world by our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, who came to America with no money or connections when he was 69 years old. His only cargo was his 3-volume first canto Bhagavatam, newly published in India. Today it's easy to take books for granted because the world has high-speed printing presses by which millions of copies of magazines, newspapers and books can be printed in one day. The population receives these publications casually because they are so easy to get. And after the day is done, all these publications become obsolete and discarded, vaporized along with the day's news. However, although the Srimad Bhagavatam appears before us in the form of paper and ink, make no mistake, it is not a normal creation. It is not a book from this world, as are the other publications I just mentioned. The Srimad Bhagavatam itself proclaims, Tad Vishargo Janatanga Viplavo Yasmin Prati Shlokam Apada Vyajapi Nam Nam Avantasya Yasho Nikatayat Srinvanti Gayanti Grinanti Sadava. On the other hand, that literature which is full with descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, form and pastimes of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a transcendental creation meant to bring about a revolution in the impious life of a misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though irregularly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. This means that the Srimad Bhagavatam comes from the spiritual world, which is far beyond the worlds of birth and death that we now inhabit. What's more, Srimad Bhagavatam is directly the incarnation of Lord Krishna, who has kindly appeared in this literary form in the age of Kali Yuga to give us his association, to light our path back to Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.43 states, Krishna svadamupagate dharma janadi bisaha kalo nashtadrishamesha puranarko idunditaha. This Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. And a very important line. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. When Krishna departed for his own abode 5,000 years ago, he left this Srimad Bhagavatam to give light to everyone in this age. This is the light in this age. This is Krishna. He has made his appearance in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. And again Srimad Bhagavatam says, this scripture named Srimad Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of God, and it is compiled by Srila Vyasadeva, the incarnation of God. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people, and it is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. The Kurma Purana also confirms that Bhagavatam, which has 18,000 verses, is the divine incarnation of Lord. The Kurma Purana goes on to say that anyone who makes a gift of Srimad Bhagavatam on a full moon day receives the benediction of going back home, back to Godhead. So what's the next full moon day? We still have a few set left. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu considered Srimad Bhagavatam to be the ultimate authority on everything. That's our Panchatattva. Therefore, Vaishnavas, especially the followers of Lord Chaitanya, keep Srimad Bhagavatam in their homes, worship it, and also share it with others. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna reminds us that as soon as we are born in this world, we begin ticking off the days until our inevitable death. He also reminds us that during this limited time period, we have a duty to perform. And what is that specific duty? The Vedanta Sutra says, Atato Brahma Jigyasa. You must ask ceaselessly about the absolute truth. And the Srimad Bhagavatam similarly says that a human being's only duty is to inquire about self-realization at all times, in all places, and in all circumstances. But Scripture also says that without outside help, without divine intervention, our search for higher knowledge will be futile. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore tells Sanatana Goswami, Maya Mukta Jivara Nahi Swasta Krishna Jnana Jivara Kripayaka Krishna Veda Purana. The conditioned soul cannot revive his Krishna consciousness by his own effort. But out of causeless mercy, Lord Krishna compiled the Vedic literature and its supplements, the Puranas, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, the reading of which frees one from illusion. Because our lives are uncertain in this temporary world, people sometimes consult astrologers to find out how long they will live, whether they will get some money, whether they will be happy, and so on. Everyone wants to know these things. Because we're controlled by the three modes of material nature, our future is mapped out along with our birth. It's written out on our palms, and it is in our stars. Really, people get exactly what they deserve, no more and no less. Everything comes according to one's past karma. We're also living in the Devi Dam, where Devi grabs hold of us and pokes us with her trident. Each point of her trident represents one of the threefold miseries that is built into this world. What are the threefold miseries? Miseries from? Yes. From the mind and body, from other living beings, and from the devas, who control the natural world and who bring in us heat, cold, earthquakes, and so on. Someone may think, maybe if I get $1 billion, I can buy my freedom from Devi. But no, she has 10 arms. So even if we free ourselves from one arm, she has 9 more with which to grab us. How then will it be possible for us to get free? Krishna tells us in the Bhagavad Gita 7:14. Any scholars? Yeah. Go on, say it all. Right. Anyone know the English? This material nature is mine. Oh, yes, that's the one. Surrenders. To me, I can easily cross the translation here is, the material nature is mine and is therefore impossible to overcome. But if you surrender to me, I will be free from mine. This is Shastra. And an intelligent person will hear this and think, yes, I will surrender to Krishna. So when we look at our astrological chart, we see how the planets, which are ruled by the devas, have their effect on us. Each planet is known as graha. Anyone know what graha means? It means that which grasps. So each planet is grasping us in a certain way. They grasp us. Goloka Vrindavan has now appeared in this world in what form? In the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. We accept the Srimad Bhagavatam and take it into our home. The Goloka Vrindavan planet becomes prominent in our life. This powerful spiritual planet, therefore, then obscures the influence of all the material planets. This is no exaggeration. Everyone is looking for happiness, and everyone wants to avoid distress as far as possible. Everyone wants some good fortune. And am I correct about this?
Yes.
Yes,